Okay. On May 27, we stepped out of our old lives. From then until November 2, Sam and I slept out in the open, or in shelters or under bridges. We ate out of trash cans and feeding kitchens. We looked disgusting, smelled disgusting, were disgusting. We were shunned and forgotten and ignored by most people who walked past us. Good, acceptable people who looked just like Sam and I used to look. And maybe just like you. This excerpt was taken from the book Under the Overpass, written by Mike Yankowski and published in 2005, and is covering his journey of living as a homeless person for 5 months, along with his friend. Before this somewhat insane adventure, Mike and his friend were students pretty much just like you and I. They were studying theology in a Christian campus, discussing religion class over lunch, and went to Vespers every week. But one day he began wondering just how practical and how much of a ministry his Christian life actually was. As he puts it in his book, he says, "Suddenly I was shocked to realize that I had just driven 20 minutes past the world that needed me to be the Christian I say I am, in order to hear a sermon entitled, 'Be the Christian You Say You Are.' Soon I would drive back past that same world to the privilege of my comfortable life on campus at a Christian college." And so, after much prayer, deliberation, counsel with his friends, his parents, he and his friend decided to head out on the streets. They took along a backpack, the clothes on their back, a change of shorts, $3 sleeping bag, and a pair of guitars. Panhandling for their breakfast, dumpster diving for their dinner, they went through experiences that many of us never really imagined, much less experienced. His main goals on his journey were: one, to better understand the lives of the homeless in America, and to see firsthand how the church is responding to their needs. Two, to encourage others to live out loud for Christ in whatever ways God is asking them to. And three, to learn personally what it means to depend on Christ for my daily physical needs and to experience contentment and confidence in Him, not just indirectly, but directly. I found this book really interesting, not only as a wonderful testimony to what really living directly dependent on God is, but what I found most interesting was the reaction that they received and the responses they received from churches, people like us, people who are supposed to be examples of Christ on earth. One morning, they woke up in the parking lot of a church, smelling wonderful smells coming from the kitchen. It turns out the church was having a pancake breakfast. And with hungry stomachs, fully expecting to be invited in, they watched eagerly as one of the elders walked towards them. However, instead of receiving an invitation, they were told to go away. And as a young Christian person, this was kind of appalling to me because it's an example of how much we can sort of just close away the world around us, the world that needs us, and just focus on what's going on in our own church. I would fully recommend that you read this book. You can find it online or on a local Christian bookstore, and it's only 210 pages, so it's a good quick read for an afternoon if you have time. You won't regret it. It's important for us as Christian young people to learn to understand the people that we're ministering to, not just how we think they should, what we think they should need, or how they should receive what we think they need, but also to really try to understand what they know they need, and to better serve the people around us and be the example that